I'm Jerry Ingram. I'm the owner of Volunteer Home Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage broker company located in Maryville, Tennessee. I love meeting people and just being here for them. We provide all types of mortgages. You just give me a call at 865-238-7500 and online at volunteerhomemortgage.com.
.com. I don't know why that always gets cut off. Sorry, Jerry. It is .com, but I think we all kind of know that, right? Happy Sunday, everybody. How's it going? If you saw my push alert, there's a lot we're going to be talking about. We're talking about your Sunday forecast. It is Sunday, by all means. We're talking about the week ahead. Of course, we need to do that. We're also talking about our next cold front that brings us a chance for rain and falling temperatures, but how much do our dew points drop? I've got more on that. Plus, we are going to go through the science of the changing of the leaves. And where do we stand? And what's the forecast for the Smoky Mountain National Park, where we typically start seeing the leaves change sooner? We're going to walk you through all that. So strap in, grab yourself a cup of coffee. It's Sunday morning. Maybe you could have the newspaper while you're listening to a little bit of Witcher this morning before you head off to church, if that's what you're doing this morning. All right, ready? Good morning. Good morning, Missy. We've got Ange. Let's see, what is that? Sometimes the Instagram handles and stuff like that. We got Ange. Ange? I'm just going to say Ange. Sorry, Ange, if I'm saying that wrong. A-N-G Hensley. I don't know what that is. All right, good morning, Miranda. We got Julie and Krista and Joey joining us. Joey, I got your message this morning. Another beautiful sunset and a sunrise, huh? These mid to high level clouds make for some perfect sunrises and sunsets, so much so that I actually want to start you off with a nice little time lapse. Now, this is from yesterday from my 180 Anakista camera, and I just love mid to high level clouds. I think they're just so cool looking. You see a few more jet contrails out there. And this was the day. Now, we had a few fair weather cumulus clouds, enough little low level moisture popping up in the atmosphere to produce a few fair weather cumulus clouds right there at the peaks of the Smokies, really. And then look at that gorgeous sunset last night. Oh, there was a brief moment of time that we actually saw very cool, nice color there. And this morning, we also have those mid to high level clouds hanging out with us again this morning. So that's really going to be the story. We've got a little push of moisture coming in from the south, and that's what's going to help to push in a little bit more moisture here as we progress through the day today. All right, let's talk about visibility. If you have any sort of travel plans this morning, fog's not a major player, and so that's good news. Temperature-wise, it feels good. Chillier Tri-Cities at 48 degrees, a little bit warmer across the Southern Valley. We're in the 50s and 60s. We'll cut it in the middle, in the mid-50s here in the Central Valley. Either way you look at it, temperatures are trending a little bit warmer this morning thanks to our dew points coming up just a little bit as well. And forecast highs are going to be back into the low to maybe a few pockets of mid-80s. So we're still trending about 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees above average for this time of the year. And the humidity is going to be a little bit higher today than what it was yesterday. Therefore, that's why our morning lows are a little bit higher. Therefore, it's going to transition to be a rather, do I dare say, a hot day? I'll throw some air quotes in there, a hot day. Yeah, it is hot. I mean, it's October, right? So it is definitely going to feel a little bit on the hotter side. The kids and I were out playing some pickleball yesterday, and yeah, we were all sweating. It was a toasty one for sure, but we had those high-level clouds, and it just made for a nice afternoon. That's the story for the day today. So from now through noon, just the mid to high-level clouds, we have a southeasterly flow taking shape. Now notice my future cast, picking up on a couple of radar returns, are we? Well, most of the models are. The HRRR is, the high-resolution NAM is, my in-house model is. So therefore, I've added basically about a 10 to 20% chance for a stray shower. Now, I'm not too confident that will even happen at all. The confidence level is pretty low, but I'd be a fool not to say, hey, listen, just an FYI, there may be a stray shower. So don't be caught off guard today if you happen to get a shower to develop over you. I'm telling you about it now. Now, I don't think we'll see a lot, and I don't think it's going to add up to a whole lot by any stretch of the imagination, but we have enough upper-level moisture, then we have enough low-level moisture, but at the surface, it's pretty dry. Do we get that evaporation process to take place, and we really just don't pick up on much? That may be the case. So, of course, we'll see how it all plays out together. How about that? All right, into the evening hours we go. We'll go from 80 degrees at 6 down to 70 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. And I just talked about that forecast. Hey, by the way, yesterday we didn't have that much of a breeze. It was a little breezy from time to time, not too terribly bad. Today, I think we'll have a little bit more of that fall breeze, but it's not a northerly wind, right? So, I think a good solid fall breeze is when you get that northerly flow. It's ushering the drier air. You can feel the air mass changing through the day when we get these cold fronts. Now, we may see this a little bit come Wednesday, Thursday, but I think there are some changes on that forecast as well. So I just don't think we're going to really draw in as much dry air as we were talking about 3 or 4 or 5 days ago. So again, forecast high temperatures, I already talked about that. I don't know why I'm going through the same forecast. I just literally did all that. So here's what I'm watching for the rest of the week. High pressure holds strong. Temperature going to be trending slightly above average. Some rain with a cold front. Some falling temperatures as well. Next weekend should be a lot more fall-like, if you will. Here's a setup. Big trough to our north and west. High pressure across the southeast. That trough is not necessarily going to push directly all the way through, but it is going to help to nudge a cold front through the area. And tomorrow, as we get our work week started, we're going to be back into the 70s and 80s. So another nice little day ahead of us tomorrow. I'm getting my shows mixed up, so I apologize here. Let's just get out of that. I've already shown you all that. Jeez, get it together, Witcher. All right, so 20% chance of rain today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, okay? I'm really not expecting much at all. At all. And 20% may be even pushing that, but I feel like I have to show you percentages. If I couldn't or didn't... Listen, I wanted to get rid of percentages. When I started East Tennessee weather, I just didn't want to do it. Well, that's the wrong label there. We'll get that off. All right, so I really wanted to get rid of percentages because I just don't think they do us justice. They never tell you the whole story. I tell you that all the time. It doesn't tell you timing, duration, intensity, rainfall totals. It tells you basically minimal at best. It basically tells you, is there a chance of rain today or not? That's it. And take that for what it's worth. You always got to find out the rest of the story. All right, so high pressure. Here's a story. Pick up our timeline Sunday today. Get that southerly flow around that ridge of high pressure. Here comes our cold front. Yeah, okay, fine, I'll come through on Tuesday, Wednesday. I actually think that Wednesday morning, for the morning rush hour, could be a little bit on the soggier side. I think Tuesday night into Wednesday morning is probably the passage of the cold front, thereabouts. And so I think that's when we're going to see some of the heaviest rainfall. Rainfall totals over the next 7 days, maybe about a quarter to upwards of maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain. So there is the potential for some beneficial rain. And I'll say it again, we are currently in our driest month of the year. So yeah, can we get a little bit of rain from time to time? We need it. But remember, I said that ridge of high pressure has kind of shifted a little bit further to the north. So therefore, I just don't think our dew points are really going to tank as much as they were being predicted about 4 or 5 days ago. So the dew points do climb out ahead of the cold front. That's that moisture. So it's definitely going to feel a lot more muggy all the way through Wednesday. Cold front comes through, drops our dew points, but not a ton. Listen, dew points in the upper 50s to low 60s is still kind of on the, rather humid side, especially considering we're now in the fall season. Now, I wanted to show you 850 millibar temperatures, and the reason why is because it is going to draw in some cooler air, and 850 millibar temperatures gives us a good signs of warm air advection or cold air advection. Is warm air moving in? Is cold air moving in? Well, this lets us know that a pocket of cooler air is going to settle its way on in. So when you look at your 7-day, we're going to see those temperatures stay in the 80s until the cold front comes through, average day on Wednesday, and then that cold air advection comes in. We'll just call it cool air advection. It's not cold, but it's called cold. It's like a cold front. Cold front doesn't always represent colder air. It just represents a drier air mass. That's it. A different air mass. So it's called a cold front, but is it always cold behind it? No. Does it always drop our temperature? So anyways, that's the story. But I think we're still going to be trending above average here as we head through the next 7 days. So in a second, we are going to be talking all things fall. But before we do that, because I do want to highlight the fact that we are in the fall season. A lot of folks want to get up to the mountains. Listen, the Smoky Mountain National Park is like literally one of the most viewed national parks in the world, especially this time of the year. So do anticipate very busy travel up into Sevier County from now through, let's just go every day. Every day. Good morning, Carol. How are you? Hey, Aaron, how was the movie? You got to tell me how the movie was. Was it worth it? Hopefully so. Good morning, Eva. How are you this morning? Headed home from Georgia. Yay! Travel safely and welcome back home, Deborah. Happy fall break to all the parents who have kids on fall break. Granddaughter's outside wedding is Saturday. Hope for no rain. I don't think it's going to be rainy. I actually think it's going to be nice. And probably the wedding that she wants, considering she is having a wedding in October, right? So hopefully we can do that. All right, let's go back to the maps and let's talk fall for a second, shall we? All right, here we go. So for those of you that want to get up and check out the changing of the leaves, the fall foliage, you know there's science behind that. And you know I'm a scientist, right? So I'm going to give you the science behind it. Now, you know what chlorophyll is, right? I mean, that's the color of the leaves when it's green. That's the green pigment. Did you actually know that the reds and the oranges and the purples all live underneath that green? It's just the green is more dominant. So it takes over all the other colors. And until we lose that dominancy because of the sun angle going down and the intensity of the sunlight, we start to transition from the summer season to the fall season. Well, guess what happens? It decreases all the fluids, keeping that chlorophyll into the leaf, stops the fluid, and now the leaves start to change a little bit. So when the fluid stops, the sugar is trapped, and new color pigments are now being able to be produced prior to the leaves falling to the ground. But there's so much more to that. You know, the green pigment in the leaves that helps trap the sunlight creates the food for the plant during the growing season. That's why we have the chlorophyll. But when we start to lose that chlorophyll, that's when we start to get those leaves that start changing. I don't know why we're going. Why this did this to me earlier today when I was trying to do the maps. Anyways, it re-racked itself. But anyway, so when the fluid stops, the sugars form, the colors change. And surely you know this, but did you know you can tell the color or the type of tree based on the color of the leaves? You know, like if you've ever been out to Colorado, they have the aspens. Like I think it's known as the largest living organism in the world, the aspens, because they're all connected. Did you know that? Like a whole hillside is one giant tree, but multiple trees, but one giant plant. But they've got those beautiful, brilliant golden yellows. Everybody loves going to Colorado to check out the aspen leaves, which, by the way, they are currently in peak season right now. But we have dogwood trees here. That's where we get the purplish colors. You know, maybe the sugar maples give us those bright, brilliant oranges and reds, or the red maples giving us the brilliant scarlet colors, or the black maples giving us the yellow. So depending on the tree type itself, really depends on the colors that we see. So again, during the growing season, everything's covered up, but during the fall season, the chlorophyll stops, revealing those beautiful colors. But how dry it is or how wet it is definitely impacts the colors. We've been dry. Now we're not in a drought. We do have some abnormally dry conditions around East Tennessee, which I'll talk about here in a second. But because it's been on the drier side, we are probably going to be delayed. And we are. And I'll show you that here in a second as well. But we also have to have, you know, those cooler nights, those cooler days. So we really need the sunny, cool afternoons, and the clear, crisp nights is really what helps to pop those colors from muted to vibrant. And we really haven't had those yet. But we're also delayed because the average peak season for the Smoky Mountain National Park is early to mid-October. Well, guess what? It's October 5th. We are currently in where we should be, close to anyways, the peak fall colors in the national park, but we're not there. I've not even seen hardly any pictures of fall foliage yet. And this is the current fall foliage as of right now, according to Explore Fall, thanks to Evan Fisher. And you can visit him online at Explore Fall, so you can check that out. But right now, we just got a little bit of color across the mountains. That's it. That's all we have. However, the forecast for the next 7 days, all right. Now we're going to start to get those cool, crisp nights as we get into the latter part of the week. Hopefully, anyways, that's the goal. A little bit more, anyways, than what we've been, which should help to transition. So we may start to get a little bit of color showing up towards the Tri-Cities area, Upper East Tennessee, and of course the National Park. Maybe a couple of spots into moderate color over into North Carolina, but I still think that we're several weeks away from really starting to get this to pop quite a bit. So again, if you are heading off to the mountains of East Tennessee, a little bit of color should be seen here over the next 7 days. And if you are heading up to the national park, here's your Smoky Mountain National Park forecast. We are going to be toasty, a little bit above average. Now, this forecast, by the way, is for Cades Cove. So it's not quite high enough to where you need to go right now. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is Cades Cove temperatures, a little bit cooler than, say, Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. But we should drop into the upper 60s to low 70s. There is a chance of rain this week. So if you're keep that in mind, if you are heading up to the mountains, to check out some of the higher elevations. So anyways, that's the goal anyways. Hopefully we'll start to get some of those leaves changing a little bit more here soon so we can start showing some of those beautiful fall colors because we know that they're amazing, right? And as I mentioned, we do have a little bit of a not a drought. We have some abnormally dry conditions, but not even for the national park yet. It's just been too warm. That's it. So yes, it's been drier, but which is helping but we're not in a drought. Let's just say that. When you look at our deficit over the last 30 days, we have places across the mountains that are pushing about 1 to nearly 2 inches behind on rainfall. So there's the dryness. And the Southern Valley, we are behind on rainfall by about 1 to 2 inches. That puts us at about anywhere from about a 50 to 70% of normal for this time of the year. But when you look ahead over the next 7 days, hopefully we get a little bit more moisture, which we need, obviously, this time of the year. Woo! That was a lot. Did y'all get all that? All right, Aaron says the movie was fantastic. Nice. Nice, Aaron. Love it. Hopefully you got all that. Let's see. Hopefully you got everything you needed to learn about that. The higher elevations definitely need to get out there. Probably within the next 2 weeks. I would say within the next 2 weeks, we should start to see a lot more color across the highest peaks. But I do think that we are going to be delayed and potentially a little bit on the muted side. Maybe you missed it, but but what causes the leaves to fall? Well, that's a good question. It just loses all of its energy and nutrients. And so eventually, once you don't have any nutrients left, boop, it falls to the ground, right? It shuts it off. And that shutting off process of the nutrients and the moisture to feed the leaf itself to keep it up gets trapped away, so it can't come into the leaf anymore. Therefore, the leaves start to change, and therefore, eventually, it dies off and loses its grasp on the tree itself. I'm going to be posting a lot more of this throughout the day on social media and also on YouTube. So, again, if you missed any of this, I will be posting this all online in a little bit more of an edited version, if you will, a YouTube version. Anyways, happy Sunday. Here we are. Yeah, yesterday I played pickleball with my kids. Man, I'll tell you what. If you have kids, sometimes they just, you love them so much they drive you nuts, right? So yesterday, let me just take you outside for a second. I'm looking at this camera right now, and I'm just like, this is just gorgeous. I mean, is that not just beautiful? Oh. See, just not much color up there, but that is why we have that camera. We'll be able to highlight all those colors from that camera every day. All right, anyways. So I took my kids, they wanted to go play pickleball, okay? And I said, yeah, let's go. Let's go have a good time. So I went and grabbed us lunch. We ate here. I finished up some business here in the studio, and then we went out to the park and played some pickleball. But leading up to us leaving and then getting into the car and driving down there, my kids were just like, just bickering. So much so that I thought about turning around the car. I was like, okay, just bite your tongue, Witcher. Just bite your tongue, Dad. We got this. All right, let's navigate this. Let's get down there. We'll all settle out. Now they're all mad at each other, right? So we get to the pickleball court. They're all mad at each other. And I'm like, are we going to play or what? And one of my kids like, I'm not playing with him. I was like, okay, well, does anybody want to play with me? Sure. One of the other kids says. Kipton's like, yeah, I'll play with you. So he plays. The other kid's sitting like, he put himself in timeout, right? He's pouting in the corner. Kipton and I are playing. It's fine. You going to come play, Caden? I will later. Okay, fine. He finally gets up and starts playing. They're bickering. All right, Dad, I don't want to play with him anymore. Can I come play on your team? Well, yeah, but I'm better than you guys. It would be better if you guys play on the same team, try to beat me, whatever. Yeah, come on. Eventually, it all settled out. We got along well. The game continued. We played 4 or 5 games of pickleball. We changed teams the entire time. So we all got to play by ourselves. We all got to play with me. They both got to play with me. And it turned out to be a good day. But my point is don't you love your kids so much they just drive you nuts? Or is it the fact that your kids drive you nuts that you still love them? Things that make you go, The days are long and the years are short, right? The memories are amazing when you look back on the year, like, gosh, our family had a great year. But the day in and day out, it's exhausting, isn't it? It is exhausting. Beautimus, says Beverly. All right. You may show it in your classroom. You should. And actually, Mindy, this is probably a good time to tell you. Let me turn the music down here for a second. This is probably a good time to tell you that I am for you teachers out there. I am working. I just don't have a ton of time to get it all together. I do have stuff on my YouTube channel, some educational stuff on YouTube right now. But I'm going to be building a very educational-based platform on my website that's going to be all YouTube videos explaining how the weather works and why. From lightning to hail to fall foliage to fog and it's going to be great. I'm not there yet. But we are working on that in the background. And once it's launched, you will know about it. But yes, please show it to your classmates and your kids. Kids, you just want to give them away sometimes. Good morning. Good morning, Elaine. How are you this morning? The Fat Man Outdoors. Yes, the years are definitely short, and I just feel like they go that much faster. All right. Now, let's move the show right along. Okay, I'll get to this. I'll get to your question in just a second, Jeremy, so stand by, okay? Well, we'll just roll the music. But yeah, hey, just curious, why is it every time I watch the full forecast, it cuts out on me every single time? It's averaging that I can't watch the weather without an interruption from a loyal watcher, Jeremy. Jeremy, yes. That has been a major issue with me and my website, because that comes from my website, okay? And the way it's presented on the app. So if you've not been with me, I've been saying that I'm getting a new website built as we speak because of some of these issues. So we are in the process of fixing it. I will send out a push alert to the East Tennessee Weather app and let you all know when that video forecast is fixed. I know just probably the best way to do it is click on the forecast itself and then go to YouTube. So let me show you before we get to our national holidays, because I want to answer these questions before I lose, maybe you got to head out, and I'm getting some questions. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I know this is web-based. I know this doesn't look like the app 100%, but if you click on the full forecast, this is where it's dumping out, okay? I'm aware of this. It's a big issue. Just do me a favor. Just do me a favor. Click on the YouTube button right there. Have it take you to YouTube. It won't dump out that way. So did you get that? So if you click on your full forecast, push play, and then come down here to where it says YouTube. Just click on that YouTube button. Just in the short term.
I'm Jerry Ingram.
Okay? Just in the short term, it should not dump out on you at that point of the game.
Broker company located in Maryville, Tennessee. I love meeting people.
Hopefully that answers your questions.
We provide all
and I
types
really
of mortgages.
apologize
You
that
just give me a call at 8.
This has been an issue. I know it's an issue. I've literally tried to fix the issue myself. I cannot. I don't know the reason why. My buddy who's got a similar website and runs everything similar to the way I'm running, he does not have this issue. So is it the website? Is it I do not know. The app company can't figure it out. They said it's your website. So I digress. That is an issue. I apologize, but just click on that YouTube button and you'll be able to watch the full forecast. All right. It is October 5th. I feel like we buried the lead here. Okay. All right. There we go. It's October 5th, so we're celebrating birthdays and events. Any birthdays out there? Any events going on? Let's see. I'm going to go to the chat and see if there's any events that people are talking about. All right. And Mindy, listen, if you ever need anything, just message me. Email me, mike@eastnweather.com. Get a hold of me on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Facebook gets loaded with messages, so it's hard for me to feed through all those. I get a lot of messages through email as well, but I try to get through those a little bit quicker than I can on the Facebook thing. So message me, but I will definitely help. Any teachers out there, if you want to know, if you need help, I'm here to help. All right, National... Is it GOE Day or is it GOE Day? I have no idea what this is. Does anybody know what this is? Okay, I don't know why it's giving me privacy things. Growth. Okay, so National GOE Day. Now National Growth, Overcome, and Empower Day. The Sunday of the first full week in October encourages us to support safe spaces for healing and connection for those who have been victimized by abuse and trauma. That is a great day. All right. I don't know why it keeps doing that. We may have to do a couple things. Okay, save and exit. Don't exit. Okay. All right, it's National Do Something Nice Day. Hold a door for somebody. Maybe pay for somebody's lunch today. Maybe go give them a big hug. Maybe not a stranger. They may think that's weird. But if you see Chris out there, give him a big giant hug. I'm just going to give you a hard time, Chris. Chris is going to drop off this platform real quickly. All right, it's National Get Funky Day. Throw in some 80s attire, get funky, do whatever you need. Why not? So if your kids want to go out in public and they're wearing something strange, it's okay. It's National Get Funky Day. Don't say that 10 times fast. You might say something else. It's National Rhode Island Day. Anybody here from Rhode Island? I've never been to Rhode Island. And it's National Apple Betty Day. What is Apple Betty? Does it? I've never. Apple Betty Day? Is that like an apple cobbler, apple pie? What is going on here? As the crisp autumn air rolls in, get ready for one of the season's coziest and most delicious traditions. It is National Apple Betty Day, an annual food holiday of the warm, bubbly, and utterly irresistible baked apple dessert. So it's like apple pie, right? Yeah. Just imagine tart, juicy apples, sliced and sweetened, bubbling under a golden brown blanket of buttery cinnamon spiced crumbs. That's the magic of Apple Betty. I suppose it is. That is all we have for...
Welcome to
There's a new privacy thing. We may have to find another national holiday calendar. It keeps popping up, that national privacy thing. I don't know. All right, on this date, for this date in history, October 5th in 1989. This is weather history, by the way, now. Weather history. Showers and thunderstorms associated with Tropical Storm Raymond dropped a ton of rain. Up to 4.5 inches of rain was reported near north of Wilcox, Arizona. And they can't hold that much rain. You get flooding and flash flooding to happen. In 1988, 13 cities in the U.S., central U.S., reported record low temperatures. Places like Duluth, Minnesota, reporting 21 degrees. Tis the season to start getting these cold fronts. 1987, it was another day of a scorching heat in the southwestern U.S., with highs of 102 degrees in San Francisco and 104 in Monterey, California. In 1972, heavy rain produced, mostly from the remnants of Tropical Storm Joanne, fell across much of Arizona. In 1917, the temperature in Sentinel, Arizona, soared to 116 degrees. In 1786, the famous Pumpkin Flood. Have you heard of the Pumpkin Flood? The famous Pumpkin Flood occurred on the Delaware and Susquehanna rivers. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania reported a river stage of 22 feet. The heavy rain accumulated a wet season up in that area. And in 1638, can you imagine even living in 1638? In 1638, the Journal of John Winthrop recorded that a mighty tempest struck eastern New England. The second severe hurricane in 3 years blew down many trees in a mile-long track. Things we didn't know. But now let's talk world history, shall we? In 1991, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev announced that his country would cut its nuclear arsenal in response to the arms reduction that was initiated by U.S. President George Bush. That was 1991. In 1947, U.S. President Harry Truman held the first televised presidential address from the White House. The subject was the current international food crisis. In 1930, Laura Ingalls became the first woman to make a transcontinental airplane flight. In 1919, not to be confused with 1990, totally different. Enzo Ferrari debuted his first race car, the Ferrari. He later founded the he later founded Ferrari, an independent manufacturing company. And in 1877, Chief Joseph of the Nez Perce. I am terrible, by the way. The Nez Perce Indians, I guess, surrendered to the U.S. Army after a 1,000-mile retreat towards the Canadian border. They were retreating to Canada, and they surrendered to the U.S. troops. It is so gorgeous outside. I just want to keep taking this camera. I mean, it is just fabulous this morning. I mean, you can't have the apple crisp and stuff like that without the apple crumb on top. I mean, that's like what makes apple crisps better than apple pie, I think. I'd rather have an apple crisp than an apple pie. Are you with me on this one? Got some cool photos to share with you this morning. Got a couple cool ones. I believe I looked at those a moment ago. There they are. Of course, Elaine has been knocking it out of the park. She's been showing us the moon getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Elaine, I appreciate you. And the next one was going to be from Joey from X-Men Ventures, always taking some amazing sunrises. So I'm going to hide you. There's his logo, by the way. We'll get his logo on there for a second. Anyway, so there's a picture high in the sky. I posted this on social media yesterday. That was I believe, the sunrise yesterday morning. All right, Cameron, I've got your, let's see. All right, yep, hit me a message, Cameron. Cameron's going to send me a message, but not necessarily worth putting up on screen here. It is an AB kind of day, but I can't say that, you know. That's my old boss's saying. You know, Todd Howell. I can't take his saying it's an AB day. It's an absolutely beautiful day. It's a perfect day. It's an awesome day. It's a Witcher's Adventures kind of a day. I could call that, right? It's a WA day. It's a Witcher's Adventures kind of a day. Make it a Witcher's Adventures in your life today. It's going to be that nice of a day. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap things up this morning. Wow, I talked for more than 30 minutes, but we went through the whole fall color stuff. If you missed it, you can go back and rewatch this live when it's done. Otherwise, I'm working on getting it together this morning. Hopefully it gets posted today. I think it should get posted today, but I'll keep you posted on that. And so just check out on social media or on YouTube. If you follow me on YouTube, or if you don't follow me on YouTube, you know, every time I post a video on YouTube, you will get updated. So it's a good opportunity or chance to follow on YouTube, by the way. So you're always updated whenever I drop a new video. That's always what you do. So if you're not good with YouTube or whatnot, or if you don't do that on YouTube, make sure you allow notifications with your subscription. And that way, again, anybody that you like on YouTube, whenever they drop a new video, you will get notified that that video has been dropped. So when I drop 1 Minute with Witcher, the long weather forecast, and again, if you want to watch those long weather forecasts, just do me a favor in the short term. I apologize. Open it up and then click on the YouTube button. It will launch YouTube, and hopefully that's a little bit more stable. That's the hope. So let's see if we can find a better camera. Not a better, but another great camera here. We'll just take you. We'll take you to West Knoxville. How about that? We'll leave you with West Knoxville. If you missed a little bit of the forecast at all, of course, you can go back and rewatch this when this is done. Or if you're on the app itself, I will send you back to the 24-hour weather channel, which you will get your forecast from yours truly coming up in just a moment. Make it a great Sunday, my friends. I've got 9 games of pickleball. Well, 3 rounds. So potentially 9 games of pickleball today. It's going to be a toasty one. If you're going to be out and about, just know it's going to be on the hot side. Rain next week. Cooler fall weather arrives with some cooler temperatures by the end of next week. So that's good news. And I'll see you back here for Wake Up with Witcher starting off at 7:30 in the morning, Monday morning, if you're around. Otherwise, always just click on your forecasts. 1 Minute with Witcher and your full forecast. Have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. See you tomorrow.